Hello viewers, welcome back. So this session is kind of a sequel to my earlier session on Release 2.1 Edit Log. So all of us know that MCA had mandated that all accounting software need to have the edit log captured for all MCA registered companies. And I'm sure that all of you know that MCA is actually extended the mandate by one more year, which now it is supposed to be implemented from next financial year from 1st of April 2023. Many of you would have installed the edit log version of 2.1, assuming that it is going to be mandated from 1st of April 2022. Now, since it is extended by one more year, some of you, if you feel that since it is not a mandate now for this financial year, and if you don't want the edit log information to be captured, you can do so. How can we do so is what this video is going to be covering about. Now, for you to understand how the edit log is going to work and what are the consequences of edit log using two different versions of Release 2.1, I have captured in my previous video, which I'm going to upload it on the eye icon on top. You can actually see that video to understand better how the edit log is going to be enabled. And now in this sequence, we are going to understand how, if you don't want edit log information to be captured, how can you disable that? Now, there are two reasons. One is that with the edit log, every time a voucher is getting modified, the versions of the modifications are going to be captured in the edit log. So naturally, the database is going to increase since these additional data is going to get captured. Now, very important aspect, you have to understand that the mandate of the MCA is that the accounting software should not allow the user to tamper with the edit log. So Tally has completely adhered to the mandate given by MCA, and the result of that is the Release 2.1 edit version. So in the edit version, if you're using edit log of 2.1, you cannot tamper with the edit log, and you cannot disable edit log, and you cannot remove or delete the versions or the history of the edit. So some of you, if you feel that, yes, this is a very important aspect for you to have better control over your data management in Tally, you continue with it. But some of you, if you don't want this edit log version on your system, how can you roll back to your normal version? And in the normal version, see, the beauty of the release by Tally now is so wonderful that keeping to the mandate, they have given one release which the user cannot tamper with the edit log. At the same time, Tally is also given you Release 2.1 with an option to enable edit log even in 2.1 with the flexibility of the user. If you want to keep the information, you can keep that information, or if you want to completely erase the history, you can do that with the Release 2.1. So the choice is yours. So whether you want to continue with edit log or whether you want to roll back to 2.1 normal version. But still, some of you, if you want edit log, you can have edit log enabled in 2.1 also, and we will see how we can enable that or how we are going to disable that. So in this session, we will assume that you are on edit log version and you want to now roll back to Release 2.1 without the edit log history to be retained or managed in the 2.1 version. That is what we are going to see. Rolling back of edit log is very simple. All you need to do is just go to the Tally website, download release 2.1, which is not with the edit log caption. Download that and you can reinstall on the existing Tally folder where your current edit log is captured. And the moment you reinstall, then the normal 2.1 will get installed and you can start using your normal 2.1. So with this scenario, we will see how are we going to disable the edit log in release 2.1. So Tally is opened. If you notice here, we are working on 2.1 edit log version. Okay, and I have loaded this company, and let us say that we have passed the transaction and the modifications or alterations that we have done is getting captured in the edit log. So let me quickly show you this. So I go to display, statement of account, statistics, and then I go to payment voucher. We have seen this in our earlier video. In the month of March, we have seen this in our earlier video that some modification has taken place for this particular voucher. So you go inside the voucher and then you come here and click on related report, click here, and the edit log is going to open. Press enter and you will see here that this particular transaction has been altered twice. So the original record, if you see here, the original record was entered and this is the information related to the original record. So let's come back here and then now we will click on version 2. See, this is your original voucher entry. This is your version 1. The version 2 is displayed here and version 2 is the first altered information. So any alteration we have seen in the previous video that it is going to highlight in red font. So this is your original value and this is what has been modified on such and such a date at such and such a time. Okay, so now let's go back and come here to the next alteration. So this is your first alteration version and this is your second alteration version. Here you will notice that the amount is also changed from 70,000 to 75,000. The bank account also has been changed from HDFC Bank account to State Bank of India. So this is how the edit log is going to work. So now the question is that since it is not mandated, you don't want to use the edit log is scenario 1. So how are we going to handle this? Like I mentioned, you have to just download release 2.1 and install it in the same folder where you have installed Tally edit log. So now let's open Tally 2.1, assuming that you have reinstalled on the edit log folder. We have opened TallyPrime 2.1, which is not the edit log version. So you can see here the edit log name is not there. Now this is the default folder. So this is the company that we were working on using the edit log version. So the moment you open the same company in release 2.1, it will still ask for migration. So if you have not taken a backup, take a backup. Tally also will prompt you to take a backup. So when you click on migration, it is now going to ask you, do you want to take a backup? And by default it is going to be yes, and the backup destination path also is specified here. So if you don't want, if you have already taken a backup, just come to configure, enter, and then backup company before migration, just press enter to make it no, and then press escape, and then come to migration and press enter. So once you have migrated the data back into release 2.1, okay, if you go to company information, you will still see this edit log. Okay, you will still see this edit log. So, and when you come to that particular voucher, so I go to DSS payment, enter, and let us go to the same voucher, the salary entry, and then you will see this related report button still here. So you click on this related report, you get the edit log, press enter, and all this information which we saw in the edit log version of EXE is also going to be shown here in the normal 2.1. So this is our latest change that we have done. Okay, we just now saw in the edit log version. Okay, now the question is that you don't want the edit log to be enabled, right? So how are you going to disable this edit log? Okay, so this is very important to notice. So what you are going to do, if you don't want edit log, so you come to company and then select alter. So you are going to company alteration screen, and remember your secret number 2, which is your F12 configuration. So if you notice here, the F12 configuration is at the bottom of your right hand side button bar. So you press F12 and you have this option here, set edit log applicability. By default this is going to be no. So you come down here and say Y for yes and Control A. You will now notice the enable edit log is yes. Because it is yes, you are still able to see the history of the edit log of the previous modifications, and because it is yes, any voucher if you are going to modify here in 2.1 also it is going to retain. So let us quickly go and then see whether it is going to retain the edit. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as yes. We will save this, Control A, and let's again go to another voucher. So we go to again payment voucher, and let us go to March, and then let's take this next voucher, repair and maintenance. Okay, so this is the original entry. We have not made any modifications to it. So in 2.1 we are going to now make some changes. So come here, enter, and repair and maintenance, instead of 55,000, let us say you make this as 50,000. Okay, save it, come inside the voucher, and then go to related report, edit log. Okay, so the way we saw in edit log version, we are seeing the same thing in the normal 2.1 version also. So this is your previous record. What you're going to see here, original record, then go to altered, enter. It is going to show you your original information of the voucher and the modified information of the voucher. The red font is going to tell you that from the original entry, the amount of 55,000 has been modified to 50,000 rupees on such and such a date at this particular time. Okay, so which means whether you are now using edit log or using normal 2.1, what changes happened? Okay, it is still retaining this capability, because in our company alteration screen, right, in the company screen, we are saying that you want to enable edit log. Okay, so you come now here and make this as no, I don't want edit log. So now you will see this message. It says TallyPrime will stop creating a log of activities such as creation, alteration and deletion for masters and vouchers. Your existing log will be retained, which can be viewed by enabling edit log again. So do you want to disable edit log? Yes. So just press enter, okay, and then save the company alteration screen. Okay, now let us come to display statement of account statistics. Let's go to the payment voucher. Let us select our repair and maintenance voucher, and because we have disabled edit log, if you see here, this option of a related report is disabled. It is, so you can't click here, so which means the information is still there, but then it is, you don't have this option to view the edit log. Okay, now subsequently let's take another voucher. Let us take another voucher, office rent. Okay, enter. Okay, and then let us say we are going to change this office rent from 22 to 25,000. Okay, the second ledger remains the same, 30,500 is the total. Enter, and then come here, and then you, even though you are modified, you are not able to see the edit log. Okay, now, so how can we completely disable and erase the history of the edit log? Okay, So we have now disabled edit log, and at any point in time, if you want to enable edit log, you can go to company alteration screen, go to alter, and then you say you want to enable edit log, and whatever changes that you have done, it is going to show. So let me quickly show this. We have made this as yes. So now Tally is saying now onwards TallyPrime will keep a log of all the activities such as creation, alter, and all those things. Okay, enter, save this. Okay, let's go to the rent voucher that we have modified. So display statement of account statistics, then let's come to payment voucher, enter, select the month of March, office rent. Your related report button is enabled here. Click here, edit log, you are able to see, enter here. Once you have disabled the edit log, whatever modification you have done, that is not getting captured. Okay, now since you have re-enabled the edit log, after re-enabling the edit log, if you go and modify any voucher, then it is going to start capturing. So let's go back here and then bring this back to 20,000. Enter, save it, come back inside the voucher, come to related report, edit log. Okay, so this is your first record, which is your original entry, even though it has been modified prior to enabling the edit log. So this becomes your original entry, and the second entry becomes where you have, okay, the original entry was 25,000, okay, and the modified version is 20,000 at such and such a date and time. So this will continue. But the question now is, I don't want any history. Even if I open this data in the non-tamperable edit log version of Tally, I don't want the history to be seen. So if that is what you wanted to do, how are we going to handle this? Okay, so now first let's come back here, alter this and disable the edit log. Okay, if you are not getting this option enable edit log, remember in F12 you have to make the second option set edit log applicability to yes. Okay, so you're going to make this as no. Okay, so fine, save this. Now what you're going to do is that you are going to rewrite the data. Okay, so rewriting the data, you have two options. One is that if you remember the keyboard shortcut, it is Control Alt and R. So if you don't recollect, no worries. So you come to help here, and then you come to troubleshooting here. Okay, and you have this option here. So come to troubleshooting here, and then once you select troubleshooting, you have this option here, repair. So you just click here, repair. It will ask you, since there are two companies, it will ask you which company you want to repair. So you just select the company which you want to repair, and now you will see this message, repair will recover and recreate the company data. There might be a data loss if your data is damaged beyond recovery. So no worries. So again, we don't want to take a backup. So go to configure, press enter, Control A, or just press escape. Now you click on repair. Now the data is rewritten. Okay, so let's go to any one of those three vouchers that we have modified. So I go to display statement of account statistics, select payment, enter. Okay, so let's take the last change that we have done. So we come here, and you know that the related report information is not there. Okay, but then the earlier one which we saw, which we edited using the edit log, it was retaining the history. Okay, now just in case, so now all the history has been, once you rewrite the data, all the history which has captured will get removed. Okay, now if you open this company in Tally edit log version, also it is not going to show any of the history. It will now, Tally edit log version will migrate the data, and it will consider that as the fresh data. And once the data gets migrated in edit log, it will now start capturing every modifications, alteration, deletion that you are going to do, which cannot be tampered with or which cannot be removed. Okay, so let's quickly go to Tally Edit Log version and see whether the edit log is going to display any of the histories of these vouchers that we have modified. So we have opened TallyPrime Edit Log version. Okay, so now we see the same company here which we saw in the normal version. So this company, the moment you are now trying to open this company in Tally Edit Log version, it will ask for migration. So you enter here, okay, and then again you come here to configure, and then you say you can change the path wherever you want the migration, the backup to happen. Okay, so now you say that you don't want to take a backup, so press enter to make it no, escape, and then come here and then you say migrate. So before that, just read this caption. It says after migration your company data will be compatible with this release, and TallyPrime Edit Log will always keep a lag of all the activities such as creation, alteration and deletion. Okay, so now once you migrate, this becomes the data converted to the edit log, and then the edit log will start working. Okay, so click on migrate. So we are migrated. Let us go to those vouchers, DSS, and then select the payment voucher, select the month of March, my office rent. Okay, so I have this option related report. So I come here, click on edit log. It is fresh, so there is no history of what has happened before migrating to the edit log. Okay, my second voucher also we had modified, related report, edit log, clean. Okay, so there is no history. So this is how basically you can, if you don't want to retain the edit log and continue with release 2.1, you have the option. So the advantage of the normal 2.1 is that at any point in time you can enable edit log or disable edit log. So you have the facility of enabling and disabling in Tally normal release 2.1, but once you are in TallyPrime Edit Log Gold version, you cannot tamper any of the information, and that is what is the mandate of MCA. I hope this session would have given you more clarity on how you can disable edit log or how you can roll back to release 2.1 and have a choice of wanting an edit log in 2.1 or completely eliminating the edit log and the history in 2.1, so that as prior to 2.1, the way you have been handling your data, you can continue handling the data in the same way. So thank you all once again for staying till the end. See you all in the next session. Thank you very much.